I'm Jonathan. That's Kurt. I'm driving the BMW M2. Kurt is in the Toyota Supra 45th anniversary edition, and this is Edmunds U-Drags. Let's do this.
Looks like we have a battle of manual transmissions. Today we have a 2024 Toyota GR Supra with 382 horsepower and 368 pound-feet of torque. Going up against the 2023 BMW M2 with 453 horsepower and 406 pound-feet of torque. The Supra is on Michelin Pilot Super Sports, and the M2 is running Michelin Pilot Sport 4s. These two are going head-to-head on our Edmunds U-Drag track, which starts with a quarter-mile drag, then they hit the brakes, do a 180, and power back to start-finish. At the end of the first run, we'll swap drivers and lanes and do it again. Does the Supra have what it takes to beat the M2? And hey, does this make you want to buy a new fast car? Then head on over to Edmunds.com.
Okay, so launching the M2, as you can see, I have a 6-speed manual transmission here, which is probably the transmission you should go with if you are thinking about buying an M2, and we still have launch control. Everything here is on Sport Plus except for our suspension because it is a little bit bumpy out here. So we have that just one level down in Sport. MDM traction is on, which seems to be the way to go for launch control. And now I have that all configured in this handy dandy little M2 button. So all I need to do is press this twice to confirm and I'm all set. Shifting the first, floor the accelerator. And if you've done it correctly, the RPM shouldn't go up to redline. It should stay around just above 3,000 RPM and you'll get a little launch control indication that it's preparing and then it's ready to activate. We'll see how that works. Sometimes launch control works very well. Sometimes we do better without it. We're gonna find out.
Hello. Toyota GR Supra 2024. This is the 45th anniversary edition, if you could tell by the orange paint and the black stripe and the adjustable spoiler, black painted wheels and black painted calipers. Otherwise, it's mechanically the same as a Supra Premium edition. But anyway, how do you get a manual transmission Supra off the line? There is no launch control in this, so it kind of comes down to little clutch and throttle work like we used to have to do. It's great that there is a manual in here. It's pretty slick shifting. Yeah, I'm gonna run with it in sport mode, and then I'm gonna put VSC fully off. There is a mid-level of VSC. It's called traction. I could use that. I might use that. But either way, I'll probably make that decision at the last second, so we'll never know.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Go, 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 go.
Come on, get it. Oh no.
Oh, it's close.
There's the extra power right there. Look at that. Look at that smile.
There's the M power.
Stand on the brakes. Brakes are pretty good in this thing, I gotta say.
Come on, exit, exit, exit. Woohoo! Come on, M!
Just down on power a little bit. Good showing though.
Yeah, he's done. He's done.
I'd say that's what the extra money goes for, but that actually costs more than this does.
Nice. Nicely done. Hey, Kurt, how's that Supra?
You know, it feels pretty good. Even with the suspension, I put it in sport mode. It's still pretty soft. Like the thing still kind of pitches forward and backwards on every shift, but I mean, it feels good.
You launched really well. You know, we know that this car has the power advantage, and that might even have like a slight tire advantage. It's debatable. You were off the line, but you know, kind of halfway to the quarter, this horsepower started to kick in, and I was off and didn't really have any concerns. But the M, you know, just it has that power advantage, which really, in this race format, is just, you know, a huge benefit.
Yeah, I do like the way this car stops, and it turns well. It puts the power down. I think the tire, like the ratio to tire to power in this car feels pretty good. Like you can have a little bit of fun if you want to, but if you're trying to keep it clean, you can keep it clean. And I had just the tiniest bit of slip on the exit, and I got a good exit of the corner, but you got a better one because, you know, it's an M.
So let's switch lanes, switch cars, and give it another go.
Let's do it. You probably know that I'm in the M2 now, and I know that I'm in the M2 because the seats are telling me that I'm fat. These are these carbon-backed buckets with the little fruit cup down here. Anyway, this has launch control. I'm going to use it just because he used it, just to try and keep it consistent. So I expect a similar result, unless, of course, you know, I out myself as a not very good driver.
All right, it's Supra time. So I know that this car is the underdog in this race, but I have a bit of a soft spot for it. I myself personally own a BMW M Coupe, which I think this car is the spiritual successor to that car, being a coupe, being an inline-six powered sports car, 2 seats only, not like the M2, which has a 2+2. So I really dig this car, but you know, we clearly saw that the M2 has a bit of a power advantage. Also, this doesn't have launch control. Kurt managed to get this thing off the line pretty cleanly, so I'm gonna try and mimic his approach. So 2,500 RPM or thereabouts, and just be smooth coming off. If the tires hook up, it should have no problems.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Got a really good start, but I have more power.
Whoa, pretty good launch from Mr. Niebuhr. Oh my God. Oh, come on, Supra. You got this.
Power, go, 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 go.
Oh!
Nice. Oh, but he's still there. The car's still fast. Still fast. This is a little faster. Oh, this thing sounds great.
Oh. Kurt, how did you feel about that?
I felt really good about it. It's weird how good that car launches for having less horsepower and no launch control. I mean, it's got you. You're like a human launch control machine, but I'm still like really impressed with how well that car gets off the line.
Yeah, ultimately, I don't know which car I like better. Like, you know, I think the driving experience in both of these cars is great. The BMW is a little bit more wild. The Supra, you know, feels a little bit more balanced. So it's sort of what you want out of your car. You know, the Supra, without having its rear seats, is lighter. And so I think just ultimately better suited for performance driving, you know, in its purest form. But, you know, you can't argue against that M2. It's so fast.
Yeah, I think it basically comes down to being a lifestyle choice.
All right, let's break it down. 0 to 60 goes to the M2 at 4.3 seconds. Quarter mile goes to the M2 again at 12.4 at 116.2 miles an hour. Max cornering goes to the Supra, pulling 1.45 Gs. And the win goes to the M2 with its best time of 35.1 at 132.1 miles an hour, 0.7 faster than the Supra. For the official leaderboard, head on over to edmunds.com/U-Drags. The BMW M2 manual comes in a little below its automatic counterpart in 18th, with a time of 35.1 at 132.1 miles an hour. The Supra places in 22nd with its time of 35.8 at 127.3.
BMW versus Supra, M2 versus Supra. I mean, I think going into it, we knew the M2 had a little bit of an advantage, but I don't know. I mean, I'm actually surprised at how close that Supra came. I really preferred the Supra's gear ratios and just power out of the corner and stuff. The M2, of course, has ultimately more power at the top end, better brakes. I don't know, it's kind of a wash. Like I don't know which car I actually like more in this scenario, even though the Supra lost.
Yeah, I mean, they do, like you said, even though they both kind of share a lot of parts, the Supra has a very distinct personality of its own. And to drive them back to back like this was very eye-opening. And I can make a case for either car.
Yeah, I can too. I mean, I think styling-wise, they both have their deficiencies, but like driving-wise, it's undeniable. They're both super fun to drive.
Yeah.
They're super capable. Yeah, Supra. Oh. Okay. Now with the bad jokes. Anyways, that's gonna do it for this U-Drags race. Again, subscribe if you wanna see more of these races. Maybe make some suggestions down in the comments. We know you like to do that. And for more Edmunds U-Drag content, make sure to go to edmunds.com/U-Drags and we will see you next time.